Second Nature for Children is in the house. Coach, how you doing?
Always, man. Great, great. How about yourself?
I'm doing absolutely great. We're gonna get right to it. We got a
Oh,
lot to
Lord.
cover.
Love.
Okay, okay. Get what you got to get. We got the
Okay, go
challenge.
ahead. I'm just plug it up.
Today is the first, what is the 2nd of September, well, whatever it is. It's the first full week of this month. So this is definitely our challenge month where we take on a challenge, whatever we've been procrastinating about or something we've been working to get started, that we haven't gotten started. And we've been doing this over a year. So if anyone has taken on this challenge and seen their life go to another level, shoot me a comment and let me know, how well you're doing and if this challenge starting off that has kicked something off great for you. So shoot me a comment and let me know. I would love to hear about that. And of course, this is what the Labor Day weekend they call it. And what I love about it is that what it said with it. I think of the first one back in 1882, September the 5th in New York, where the labors came together, the union came together and did a tribute to the workers. And so the reason I like it is because they organized to get something done. And that's one of our biggest problems as a people. We don't organize. So it won't be no time soon as a people that we get anything done because we don't organize. So as family, as you come in, make sure you subscribe. We should be plenty of subscriptions by now, but when you're giving this type of information out, a lot of times, since it has nothing to do with entertainment or gossip, a lot of people shy away from it. So I'm glad that we do have the one or two conscious people that are listening or trying to take their life to another level. So, I want to let you know that I definitely appreciate you. And Coach, I want to talk to you about, I want you to think about it. Do Blacks still have a slavery mentality? I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
From a conversation that I had this week too, I want the family to be careful of this right here. Be careful when you have a one-track mind. I had this discussion a little earlier this week, and I like to come back and share when I have certain conversations with certain people. Just because you marry or you go to church, it don't mean nothing. I'm gonna say it again, because some people get in their feelings and emotions about these two things. Just because you marry or you go to church, it don't mean nothing unless the individual take the marriage and going to church, the commitment that it takes to make them successful. Just because you go, if you don't, just because you got that piece of paper in marriage, it don't mean nothing if the individual doesn't commit himself to that commitment of marriage. So I don't know why some think, just because you got that piece of paper don't mean nothing. I've done the video on the divorce rate and how high the divorce rate is and how people spend. And we definitely know just going to church don't mean absolutely nothing until you commit to that belief and that faith. And most of us who go to church, we're not living that faith anyway. That's a fact. That's a fact. So I just want to share that. And family, share me your comments with those two things right there. Yeah, shoot me a comment and let me know what you think about that. Talk about, do Blacks still have a slavery mentality? Now, first thing I like to do is make sure that we reference some words. So we'll have an understanding as we go through this and break this down. So when we talk about steal, do we steal? I'm talking about staying in the same position, something that's still staying in the same position or at rest without motion, not moving. All right. So I want to make sure when I'm talking about, do we still have that same slavery mentality? Or we not moving? Is what I want to make sure that I get that over to you. And when I talk about slavery, I'm talking about the condition of being a slave. I'm talking about a person who is the property of another person. That's what I want to talk about. I'm talking about one who was controlled or ruled by some desire, a habit, or some type of influence. So, we can be a slave to many things, and we'll do that a little later. We can be a slave to many things because a lot of us are enslaved to stuff. I see what stuff got a lot of us. Alcohol.
Okay, okay, go ahead, go ahead.
You sure you want to
But
talk?
that's where I was going anyway. But go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Okay, all right. So I just so what I'm doing is just setting it up. So once you go in,
Yeah, I got
we
you.
can already cover it. Okay. So no problem.
Yeah.
So the first thing we have to understand is that this mindset comes from history. We got to understand that, and we were programmed to emotionally feel inferior. Inferior meaning below most others, less than. So now we know that we have to be mentally reprogrammed. And the only way to reverse this is to make an active lifetime commitment to changing our mindset. I know it's gonna be hard. I know. And that is, and that is finding out who you are and your worth. Because the problem is mental slavery is a state of mind where discerning between liberation and enslavement is twisted. Being free and enslavement is twisted, where one becomes trapped by misinformation about yourself and the world. About yourself and the world. So we're gonna go with it like this right here. So let's take a look. And coach, I'm gonna let you do because I about know when you said that but I'm gonna let you do it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look at a time when we were enslaved by Europeans, because there was a time when before this, a lot of people don't know, and maybe they do, that we enslaved our own people. There was a time that we enslaved our own people if we go a little further back. Okay, but let's deal with the time where we was enslaved by the Europeans. And let me tell you something. I want to know, have you forgotten the time when we were kings and queens? We was a prince or a princess. Have we forgotten about the time where we ruled? Can you imagine if you had that mindset today, that you was a king, a queen, a prince, or a princess? But like I say, we've been beat down mentally so bad to feel inferior till we have forgotten about who we really are. And so I ask that because if you can imagine that you are one of the four and you live that, it can truly help change your life. But we have taken on a mindset that was forced on our ancestors and has been passed down for generations. And that's to be submissive and to be obedient and to be passive and just ready to conform to the authority of will of others. We're scared. As a people, we're afraid. We're afraid to stand up for ourselves because of the consequences that come with it. And I just want you to think about, I'm just setting up where our people were for so many years and how it has come down through the generations. And now we are dealing with the same things as a people right now today, where I can still see that we are enslaved mentally. And it's something I want you to think about. We are so mentally damaged that we didn't even realize that if we would have just come together, how we can make things different for us as a people. And that's what I was talking about when I spoke earlier about the Labor Day, how they organize And now look at here, you got a federal holiday that came about where people being able to get off and take some time off for Labor Day. So what if we came together, man, as a people and organized to make a difference, but we won't do it. We won't do it. And one of the worst mental tricks that was instilled in our mental state was that we always need someone or somebody to be our savior. Boy, we've been tricked with that thing right there. They messed us up with that. And I'm talking about that happened long time ago. And right now in 2024, that has come up through the generations where right now today, as a people, I still see where we feel like we need something or someone to always come and save us. And we got to do better. So instead of us knowing that if we can become spiritually connected to ourselves, we can save ourselves. But until we come together, until we understand that we have to build that relationship with that which dwells within us ourselves as an individual, things will never change. So I'm going to answer it, then I'm going to let you go, Coach. But I see right now today that we are still, as a people, we are still having and trapped into a mental slavery mindset. What you think about that? Do you still think that we are in that slavery mentality as a people?
I say yes, man, without a shadow of a doubt. But I say now more so about things that we didn't have before. We weren't in close proximity of, what I mean, tangible things that we can say, that's mine. Look at me. And that's why the big thing is about flexing, if you will. Look at me, look what I got to go accomplish what you got. You know what I mean? That's where we are, most of us. You said a lot, man, but imagine. You talk about imagine. Do we dream anymore? Do we flex our mind to go beyond our reality, to try to reach uh, another sphere, if you will, with our minds? Do we do that? Or our mind goes as far as what we see or what we can touch? I don't think we're flexing our minds the way we ought to. Someone was looking at, well, nothing was an artist, a reggae artist, and he's quoting Bob Marley. He's talking about emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves can free our mind. Nobody but us can free our mind. And it's funny, the topic, you said what the topic was, but yeah, nobody but us can do it. Nobody but us can do it. So if you are limited in imagination, it's going to show in your actions. You talk about marriage and religion. A lot of time, well, my observation, it stops right there. The ceremony, the everything I do, that's it. It stops right there. For a lot of people, man, to me, it's a show. My husband, my wife. Okay, and then what? And then what? What are we doing? So we just stop right there. That's it. That's all it is. Going to church, we always talk about, that being a formality. And then what? What did you add this week, into how you move to elevate yourself? Mentally, physically, spiritually, what have you add? You know what I mean? So a lot of times it stops right there, you know. So are we still, in that slave mentality? Yes, we are. But like I said, more so for things now than ever before. Definitely to a job, but more so the things, than ever before. I even read a piece today when they're talking about I don't know if it's for real or they was giving you a scenario, but the article said I'm 63 years old, and a few months ago I announced, that I'm retiring. If I'm fired, do I have any ground to stand on? And really and truly, you don't. You don't. So just imagine, let's say, for hypothetically speaking, that is true. You put all that time into the job, you let them know in advance, out of respect, man, in a few months, I'm out of here. And for whatever reason, they cut you loose. You really ain't got a leg to stand on, man. So hopefully you done stash and you done, make some plans, and hopefully, what you getting is supposed to be adequate enough. But really and truly, man, if we look at it for what it really is, it's all fantasy, man. It's all a big old fantasy, and it's for us to create our own reality. I'm not saying you can't get a decent pension, a decent 401k, but you cannot depend on that. How many companies we've seen thus far crashed out? Folks can't get their money. You know what I mean? So to answer the question, yeah, man, still a slavery mentality. And I can say it again, none but ourselves can free our minds. So take that for what it is, man. Take
Yeah,
that for what it is.
I definitely, we're gonna have to do a show because I definitely agree that as a people, we have definitely stopped dreaming. Yeah, we have definitely stopped dreaming. And I can see from thinking about our ancestors being enslaved in the way that they were enslaved. And I can see right now, today in 2024, that a lot of us still have that same slavery mentality where it was forced upon them at the time. I want you to understand it was forced upon them. But now you don't have to do and live the way they live, but you keeping yourself in that same way of living because of your mindset. I want us to understand. Yeah, you're not forced. I did another video on it. Like if you don't like your job, hell, quit. You're not forced to go there. You understand? So our ancestors were forced. I don't know why today we thinking that we are forced to do something. You're not, no, you're not forced to do that. And the thing is, a lot of us are mentally broken, like I said a little earlier, because that mindset has come from generation to generation to generation. And now it put us, a lot of us, in a position to depend on a job. A lot of us would not survive without a job because our dreaming and our creativity has been taken away. You understand what I'm saying? Because
That's
what you,
right.
yeah, what you got to understand too, that a job today is really a modern day plantation. Just want you to think about it. If we want to be real, it's only a modern day plantation. It's a place where you go, a lot of us, from conversation, talking to people throughout the years. It's a place where you go and spend most of your day where you don't want to be, around a lot of people that you really don't like. Then you end up going home to someone that you don't have a close relationship with. I just want you to understand from me dealing and working with us and over
Yeah,
30
yeah, yeah.
years, and you want to know Why are you drinking excessively?
I was
Why
about
you,
to go there, but go ahead. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
a lot of times you don't understand why you're depressed, why you so stressed out. You don't understand because you haven't really sit down and thought about that when you were younger, your outlook on life was more promising because you were dreaming.
Dreaming, yeah.
It was things you wanted to do. Now that you didn't set yourself up to live that dream and reality has set in, and now it's really like hell because there's a reason you're smoking so much, you're drinking so much, you're doing certain things that's self-destructive
Mm.
and that you're unhappy. That a lot of us, and that's why I always talk about the mind, the body, the soul, is the base, the foundation of living. And a lot of us don't understand how we're dealing with this mental disorder or this mental issue or this mental illness. And we think that it's just normal. Why you drinking so much? Why you got to get out? As a matter of fact, why you got to have a 40 before you go to work? Why you got to have a 40 at lunchtime? Why you got to get high before you go to work? Why you got to get high at lunchtime? A lot of people don't understand that their mental state is struggling because they're very unhappy with their life. What you got to say, Coach? You got anything you want to jump in?
Yeah, man. Over the years, I've come across quite a few folk like that. Even folks ask me, man, when you can retire? I was like, man, retirement had nothing to do with my years. You know, as long as I can get what I want for my house, I'm out. That's my thing. What they got for me just be icing on the cake. That's it. You know what I mean? That's how I'm rolling. It's about affordability for me. But I know folks, man, that stop smoking, start back smoking, and then drinking damn near every day, man. Like, damn, bro, I thought you stopped smoking. Yeah, man, No, I don't know. What you doing? It's not elevating you. It's making your situation better because now you tapping in a negative way to your health bank. You know what I mean? What are you doing? That ain't you. But people are people, man. But I'm telling you, man, that dreaming, that plotting, that looking ahead 5, 10, 15 years down the road, it makes a big difference, man. At least you see that mental picture that you're striving for. You know, no one else got to see it because that's yours. They don't have to believe it either. That's yours, man. You know, and that what keeps me going. I don't know about anybody, but that what keeps me going, man. That's not me. That certainly is not me. They ain't gonna jeopardize what I'm trying to do. You know what I mean? So that's how I roll, man. But a lot of people, man, I'm telling you, they stuck, man.
Wow.
They stuck mentally. They stuck. They cannot see beyond what they can see physically. It's like, man, bro, you know how powerful your mind is? You know, you can travel with your mind. You can go out of place with your mind without even going there physically, man. You know, but I get it, man. I get it.
And that's why I've always loved the quote from Helen Keller, where she was asked in that interview, and I said it in another video. And family, make sure that you
Well, I
go back
remember that, but go ahead.
and
Yeah.
look at all those videos because that was so powerful, and that stuck with me as a young man because she's literally blind, and she was asked in an interview, did she think that it was anything worse than being blind? And she said yes. And the interviewer was like, whoa, what do you think worse than being blind? Because I'm sure they were like, if I lose my sight right now, I'm going absolutely crazy because you've been had it all your life. And she said, yeah, there is something worse than being blind. And that is having literally your sight, but no vision.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what's killing us right now today. That's why I said in a previous video, do you have a do and don't list? Are you still doing the same crazy things you were doing 5 and 10 years ago? When I'm working with kids right now today, I make sure that they have that life plan written out. and letting them know, you see all these great things that you have written out. You're going to have to live these things. And it's going to be things that's going to be coming at you and toward you to knock you off of this great plan, this great plan that you have written. And what has happened, a lot of us as adults, we've been knocked off from that great plan from a child that we wanted to do this, we want to do that. I had a room full of kids where I work with kids every day. And I always ask this question, you know, what is it you want to be when you get to be an adult, when you get grown, when you get big? And it's so sad to hear especially our young boys, everybody want to be a football player or a basketball player. And I asked the little boy this week, I say, now I'm gonna tell you something. It's football season now, and you sitting in here with me. Why you not at practice?
They're playing, yeah.
Yeah. I said, I just want to wake you up, because what happens a lot of times when we're kids and we're dreaming about certain things, someone need to teach us the reality of it as well, what it takes to be it and what it takes to do it and what it takes to get there, instead of just admiring something when we're young, saying we want to be it, but we don't know how to be it.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah. So it's so sad to see my young kids, but I'm introducing them to other things, other occupations that they need to hear about, that they need to be exposed to, instead of just a rapper or athlete. And it really limits us. We're gonna have to do a video on how we've been so limited as a people that when we was coming up, a lot of occupations that we should have been introduced to that we was not introduced to. And so it limited us to a certain point, because once again, if mom and dad and grandmama and granddaddy were not educated, now they just pushing you to go to school. They they want you to get something that they didn't get, but that educational system is not for everyone. So if you just pushing them to go to school and that's not for them, now you got a lost child, because you got to be able to introduce them to other things as well. And so I would say right now, we still have that same slavery mindset that was forced. It's not forced on you now, but that was forced on our ancestors many years ago. And I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of us are afraid to be free. That's a fact. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna tell you why I say it. Being free. I will go here first. A lot of us are not free spiritually and at peace. That's one thing. Okay, that's one thing. But I'm gonna take it from a job fact. Okay, we're not ready for the responsibility of taking care of ourselves, being free, because all the things that it takes to make you a slave, you have to be opposite of that.
Yeah.
And a lot of us, until we are reprogrammed, we will never be ready to be free to do our own thing, because we are programmed to be submissive, to be passive.
True.
Yeah. So I don't, and that's why I tell you all the time, I don't see no time soon us as a group doing anything to make a difference. So that's why I'm reaching out to us, to that one or two or that three or four as a individual, to become conscious and to really say, man, I get it. I understand what they're saying when they say that your mind, your body, your soul is the foundation of your life. I get it now, because everything umbrellas under those three areas, everything in life umbrellas under those three areas. And now when we're talking about the mindset, if you don't know, here's a bold statement, and I'm gonna make it. If you don't know how to activate your mental state, to envision, imagine, and connect that mental state with that which dwells within you. Well, I always tell you, with your tenacity, your drive, your fight, your desire, your self-discipline, I'm telling you right now, whatever you're trying to achieve, if it come with anything that can move you forward or can move a group of people forward, until you learn how to connect those things together, here's a fact. You will never achieve it until you learn how to connect your mindset to your spirit. I'm telling you, and you keep wondering, like if you're trying to achieve something, you do it for a week or two, or you do it, and now it's gone because you can say it out your mouth, but you haven't locked it in here, and you haven't locked it in to that which dwells within you. That's why you keep stopping. And we still got, once again, that same slavery mindset. We got to be reprogrammed. We're scared. We're not ready for the responsibility to be free. That's why Harriet Tubman, when she was traveling back and forth at the story told, only so many would go because that mindset that had been forced on the slaves, they was like, I got to depend on master. I can't do it myself. And the ones who was ready to be free, they was like, they was ready to take that challenge and that responsibility. So that's the difference in the two right there. One is not ready to go anywhere because they rather just be submissive. And then one is ready to go see, hey, I want to be free. And most of us today, we are a submissive people. And when you talk about economics,
Mm.
a lot of us enslave ourselves even more, not even realizing that when you're not economically sound and making smart
Yeah,
decisions, the most stuff you go purchase, the more
yeah,
you enslave yourself to that job. Now you
yeah,
put up in that nice car, or you show that house, or you show something that you have, especially when you show it to someone that is authority over you, and you do, and it seems that you're doing better than they're doing.
mm,
Ooh,
mm,
you better be
yeah,
you better be careful with that right there because Malcolm X and I already told you about the house Negro and the field Negro, and you going
yeah,
trying to show some stuff out. Good God Almighty. So we got to be careful, family. We
yeah,
got,
yeah.
and so I'm gonna leave it at this. So make sure you subscribe, share this with your friends, and make sure you hit that thumbs up. Shoot me a comment, Coach. You got 4 minutes. I'm done. All I
I
say,
gotta I gotta go to Bob Marley Court again, man. Emancipate yourself from mental slavery. None but ourselves, none but you can free your mind. You know what I mean? And that's real, man. You talk about that mental locking with that spiritual. I know I said it a while back, um, in one of the meeting, but my experience with that happened when I stepped out on faith. You know what I'm saying? When I stepped out on faith, you know, and was traveling, that mental and that spiritual, I mean, that was my um awakening, spiritual awakening, if you will. You can call it that. You know what I mean? Because I ain't nothing else to tap into the call on whatever, you know. And it worked out. So anytime I'm in a space where things don't look right, I always think back, like, man, you came through that, bro. What you talking about? This ain't nothing. And thus far, everything else has been, man, piece of cake, you know. But folks wouldn't know that. But to me, I know that as a piece of cake because ain't nothing, compared to, what I've been through while I started traveling, man. But as long as you're above ground, man, you got a chance to alter your life in whatever direction you want it to go. You know what I mean? And it's never too late. I don't care how old you are. I don't care. The only thing matters is if you think it's over for you. So you can just what? Wait to expire. That's what you can do. You don't know when that's gonna take. So you might as well use that time and try to accomplish some stuff, man. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. You know what I mean? You want less regrets when that time comes. You know what I mean? So push yourself, man. How would you know how far can you go? Push yourself, man. Trust me. I know, man. You'll be surprised, pleasantly surprised. You know what I mean? You got to test yourself, man. Push yourself beyond there. I mean, you got to plan, you got to strategize. I get that. But it reach a point where, okay, the planning is in place. What you can do, you got to execute, inch by inch, man. It don't have to be the whole big change, man, right away. It just little by little, you know, kind of like if you sailing, just little by little, you're in a whole different direction, man. So it ain't over for us, man. And I'm always throw my hope in there, but we gotta keep going, man. We gotta keep going. We gotta do better. I feel we're better than we are, and we not displaying it, you know. Um, tap in, man. Tap in. That divine, that spiritual, all that, however you want to call it, man. It's real, man. It's real. Like I said, I've been traveling mentally to several destinations before I got there physically. And that comes from reading. And now we got YouTube. You can punch in any destination now, and someone is walking you through, arriving there, where they going to. We didn't have that years ago. You know what I mean? You have to read, look at the map, and just imagine. So we got help now, man. We got help now. So don't be afraid to dream, man. Don't be afraid to dream. That's what I got, man.
I'm gonna leave it right there, Coach. So family, make sure you subscribe, like, share this information because you know at least 2 to 3 people that need to hear it. Send it to them. Whether they listen to it or not, that'll be on them. Just do your part. And Coach, until we come together again, I appreciate you. Much love.
All right. Appreciate you too, man.
No doubt.